A wise person once said, you either live long enough to be a YouTube star or die a cancelled piece of shit. It was me, I said that. But jokes aside, if you've been on the internet long enough, you must have come across the Paul brothers. The younger Disney star turned boxer and the older plate breaker turned boxer. Both took YouTube by storm for what seemed like forever between 2016 and now. YouTube scientists have been puzzled with these two questions for the longest time. How did Logan come back from being cancelled? And how has Jake not been cancelled yet? So today, I'm going to try to answer the first one because honestly, I don't think there's an answer to the second one. For the uninitiated, let's have a 30-second history to our boy Logan Paul. Pre-2017, Logan gained massive traction on the OG short-form app Vine. 2017, Vine shuts down and Logan, among many Vine stars, migrates over to YouTube. All of 2017, Logan goes off on YouTube with millions of views and hundreds of videos. December 31st, 2017, while on this chase of insane views and likes comes the dreaded vlog where he went to Japan and particularly a Japanese forest known for suicides, and then proceeded to vlog a dead body. What came next can only be described as the cancel tsunami.
Film someone who had committed suicide.
Heavily criticized for posting a video of
committed suicide.
And it's pretty gross how he
messed up thing to do.
He got cancelled. But this wasn't it for our boy LP, because you see, LP wouldn't go down easy. He comes back in 2018, resumes the vlogs, gets called out by KSI for a boxing match, releases his own movie, and starts a podcast.
Too impulsive. The number one podcast in the world.
2019, he fights KSI again, losing this time. 2020, he buys a bunch of Pokemon cards, bringing back nostalgia for an entire generation, and proceeds to lose millions of dollars on said cards. 2021, he calls out Floyd Mayweather, actually fights Floyd Mayweather and earns a massive $20 million. 2022, he takes 99 Polaroids and sells them for millions of dollars. And here we are today. Now, I've been around YouTube long enough to know that Logan's cancel back in 2018 was brutal. But it's also safe to say that Logan has had a monumental career despite that setback, bringing the limelight back to boxing and quite literally minting money with his NFT drops.
It's called 99 Originals, and yes, it's an NFT project.
It really made me wonder what was the reason for his unquestionably epic comeback. And is there something that Logan did that other cancelled creators don't know about? Welcome back everyone, I'm Adil, you're watching the Frontrunners show, and today we'll be talking Logan's epic comeback. Now, first, to understand a comeback, we need to first understand what led to Logan or any other creator's downfall. Generally, creators who get cancelled are for fundamentally questionable reasons. That may include physical violence, sexual misconduct, or in Logan's case, immoral actions. Filming a dead body for a vlog is a big no-no. It crosses moral, ethical, and basic codes of human decency. Enough that the outcry transcends industry borders, international borders, and gets almost everyone on the internet together to bring him down. But this also opened him up for additional scrutiny towards the general decision making of his vlogs. Logan was and is known to push the boundaries of pretty much everything in his vlogs, from breaking plates, showing off expensive toys, being highly obnoxious and excessively loud, especially in foreign countries. Our boy Logan has done it all. Ironically, the very things that got him to the top of YouTube also spread the fire of his cancellation. His over-the-top excessive actions, pushing the envelope, all came under heavy scrutiny after the initial outcry over Japan. My point is that LP's downfall was pushing the envelope so far that it fell off the table altogether. You see, fame is a weird thing. If you're in the limelight doing good or bad work, it's all happening externally to you. A creator or celebrity never starts a controversy, the receiving audience does. Every artist is in a unique position because they're living in a world where they can't experience themselves the way others do. Moreover, fame in today's day and age is fundamentally unnatural. Think about it, the human body isn't meant to be shared with millions of people at such an intimate level. 30 years ago, only the people you were intimate with would see the freckles on your face or the wrinkles under your eyes and know your daily routine so closely. But today, millions of people can simply Google your face and know more about you than you would ever expect. What's supposed to be a natural give and take of you knowing another human being now turns into a one-sided relationship where the public knows everything about you while you know nothing about them. All that being said, Logan was basically an ego-driven YouTuber trying to flex his money and status on 13-year-old kids, pushing the boundaries of what's acceptable until he went too far. And now that we know what led to his downfall, what did he do differently that led to his comeback? Well, while I was doing my research, there were 5 things that clearly stood out that I felt helped Logan gain his momentum and following back. With number 1, he kept uploading. He didn't stop. The first and most important thing that Logan did right after Japan was that he didn't stop uploading. It only took him 30 days to come back with a new vlog. Logan knew that people were going to talk about Japan no matter what, but rather than waiting out a few months to start uploading again, he decided to cut that time down, making it faster for him to get back on the right sides of his fans. 2. He became the villain. This has to be the smartest thing I've seen Logan do in all his career. At a time when he was being destroyed left and right, he simply leaned into the public persona of a punching bag and gave people exactly what they wanted. A boxing event where they could pay to watch him get beaten up. Not only did Logan give people something to talk about apart from Japan, but he got them to cough up money for it. I don't think we give him or whoever he works with enough credit for coming up with that idea. Once he changed the narrative from Logan did something horrible to Logan can't box, he's a YouTuber, it was the beginning of the end to his Japan troubles. Not only this, he actually showed up and did a pretty decent job of boxing. Even his opponent selection was pretty thought out. Boxing KSI, an equally large YouTuber from a totally different demographic that yielded a higher hype around the event and sold a ton of tickets. According to Wikipedia, he sold 1.3 million buys at $10 a pop. Now, I don't know if this was intentional or not, but giving his audience a foreign opponent made his fans unite behind him, giving them something external to focus their hate and negativity on.
But even on top of that, it's the UK versus the USA. Like, this got diplomatic.
Sure, that hate in the form of an opponent isn't the same as the hate he was getting for Japan, but that nonetheless got everyone to start talking with him instead of at him. This beautifully led to the third thing that Logan did to redeem himself. He pivoted his narrative and grew up with his audience. One of my favorite tweets is by Avril Bhatnagar that says, "Code speaks to machines, story speaks to humans, and math speaks to the universe." Stories are the most powerful persuasive tool. And more importantly, the more people know about you and your story, the more involved they become and more forgiving they are about your shortcomings. Sharing your life as a vlogger is pretty hard, mainly because your normal life can only have so much content for people to be constantly interested in. You need to be on the lookout for the bigger and better thing that will grab someone's attention. But if you want to keep their attention, your 1000 true fans, so to speak, you must give them a sneak peek, show them who you truly are about. And without that true human connection, it's almost impossible to retain as large an audience as Logan's. And what better way to do that than with a podcast? 2 hours of uninterrupted raw conversation with a fascinating guest that not only explores exciting topics but shows your audience an uncut version of you that they've never seen before. And you have to give it to Logan. Impulsive is actually a pretty good podcast. This brings me to his transformation. If you look at Logan's content pre-2018, it was honestly annoying. Sure, he got views, but whenever I came across his videos, my reaction was more of disgust and annoyance than actual interest. But look at Logan today, and he's someone that I honestly look up to, especially in terms of how he leveraged his attention into making his businesses. There has been a visible physical transformation to his content. His thumbnails no longer look like they're made for 8-year-olds, his videos are no longer cringy, and even his merch is something I wouldn't mind wearing in public. I believe there has been a fundamental shift in his mindset after Japan that has trickled into all his work across the board. Logan grew up with his audience, something that's quite rare in the creator space. The thing is that every time you manage to attract millions of fans, you must understand that to keep them interested in your content, you must be relatable to them as they grow up. Sure, breaking plates and playing pranks and making diss tracks on each other may be fun for 15-year-olds in 2017, but there's only so many of those videos that you can make before people start losing interest. You must adapt, and oh, did Logan adapt. The other thing was that although a majority of his audience were kids from 10 to 15-year-olds, the criticism he got from Japan was from adults that actually understood the impact of his actions. So to truly redeem himself, he had to make content that spoke to adults and not kids. You can see this in just his vlogs. He went from making cringy, annoying vlogs to vlogs with subtle humor on topics that adults can relate to, and videos that were actually fun to watch from a basic storytelling point of view.
Because I'm done buying stuff that won't make me money.
Baby, you got it. Why did you just look out into the distance like that?
You do have to give Hayden, his editor, credit for evolving his editing style along with Logan and his content. Now, those four by themselves quite well explain his comeback, but there's one more thing that I definitely want to mention here: nostalgia. No one knows how to play on nostalgia better than Logan. In the past 2 years, he has gotten into Pokemon and wrestling, both of which have been huge part of people's lives growing up. Not only did he succeed around the world, nothing beats a redemption arc better than nostalgia. At the end of the day, Logan successfully grew up in the limelight, no less, and got rid of his ego. This goes far to prove how authentic content is sustainable and just better than putting out a certain kind of persona while making content online. Logan, if you're watching, as someone who's part of the creator community and who has been your fan for a long time, respect. I genuinely found you annoying and cringy, but you got me and millions of others turned around. Not just that, you've actually inspired a lot of us by showing what's possible when you leverage your following to make smart business decisions. As a creator, I often wonder what if I say something wrong that gets me cancelled, but I always tell myself, if Logan can come back from Japan, anything is possible. Thank you so much for watching this episode, guys. This was the Frontrunners Show. Smash that like button and subscribe to our channel for more such deep dives every Sunday at 10 a.m. and I shall see you in the next one. Peace.